In 2025, will young people around the world be lying flat? Have you found? In 2025, whether you are in China, Japan, or Canada, young people are all saying the same thing. I really can't move anymore. What is lying flat? It can be said to be a reshaping of the lifestyles of young people around the world. Lie flat originally came from the internet, used to describe a life attitude of low desire, no consumption, no marriage, no children, and no excessive competition. It doesn't not work at all. It is a passive resistance to high-pressure social competition. It is also an active withdrawal from the high-cost lifestyle. Although the term lying flat originated in China, but similar phenomena exist all over the world, just different names and different performances. China calls it flat doctrine. Refers to refusing to buy a house, get married, or have children, and pursue a life of low desires. People who resist high-pressure competition. Japan is called the relaxed generation and Buddhist youth. Refers to the generation that grew up after the bubble economy burst. People who are no longer obsessed with working hard. In Europe and the United States, it is called the Great Resignation Movement and the Returning People. Refers to young people rejecting traditional career paths. The wave of resignations is rampant, and more people are returning to live with their parents. These all reflect that young people around the world are redefining success and effort. But the essence is one thing. Young people feel that their efforts are not rewarded. Today, we will use real data. Take you to see 3 completely different countries: China, Japan, Canada. Why do they all lead to the same conclusion? Effort no longer equals the future. Japanese wages haven't increased in 30 years, and society is lying down. Let's first look at Japan, a country that has entered a low-desire society in advance. The problem for young people in Japan is not poverty, but income has not increased in 30 years. According to OECD data, real wages in Japan have almost zero growth from 1995 to 2022. Since 1995, average annual salary growth in Japan has been relatively stagnant in real terms. Real wages fall by 4% by 2023, while other OECD countries saw significant wage growth. As of 2023, the average annual salary in Japan will be approximately $46,792. During the same period, wages in the United States, South Korea, and Australia all increased by more than 40%. That is to say, the salary of my parents' generation can support the family. When it comes to your generation, there is no increase at all. Look at the house prices again. Overall housing prices in Japan are not as crazy as in China. But Tokyo is another story entirely. Tokyo house price-to-income ratio in 2024 15 to 16. Higher than New York. The monthly salary of young people is only 200,000 to 250,000 yen. House prices can easily reach tens of millions. If you work hard for 10 years, you may not even be able to get the down payment. What's worse is work pressure. Japan's working hours have long been above the OECD average. Japan has a long-standing overtime culture, and employees are generally required to work overtime. Even working overtime is considered normal. This phenomenon has given rise to the unique social problem of karoshi. Data from Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare shows the average monthly working hours per capita in Japan in 2024 will be 136.9 hours. 126.9 hours of working hours within the prescribed period. Overtime hours are 10.0 hours. Since 2016, Japan has promoted work-style reform. Although work-style reform has been effective, high-pressure culture is still difficult to change. The pressure on marriage and childbirth is also shocking. A child from birth to college. Average cost in Tokyo exceeds 20 million yen. Therefore, the desirelessness of Japanese young people is not about laziness. It is a natural reaction to long-term no-salary increase plus high housing prices plus high pressure. China's active withdrawal after reaching the limit. When you come to China, the poverty of Chinese young people is the most discussed topic in the world. The core reason has only one word: expensive. How expensive are house prices? According to the 2024 report of the Central Index Academy, Beijing house price to income ratio 36. The first echelon in the world, no rivals. What does this mean? It means that a family does not eat or drink. It takes 36 years to buy a house. The house becomes a social ticket. Not being able to afford a house means don't dare to get married, don't dare to have children, and don't dare to spend money. Look at employment again. From 2023 to 2024, the number of graduates in China will exceed 12 million. Record high. China's job market faces challenges as of November 2025. In particular, the number of college graduates has reached a record high 12.22 million, and competition for employment is fierce. At the same time, data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that the unemployment rate among youth aged 16 to 24 will rise to 18.9% in August 2025. The devaluation of academic qualifications has become the norm. Undergraduate transfer to graduate school. Graduate students become overseas returnees. Young people realize effort no longer guarantees reward. Plus, the comparison pressure of social media. What you see every day is other people's success in buying a house, studying abroad, and starting a business. And the algorithm makes you think that everyone else is better off than you are. Marriage and childbirth are the last straw that breaks the camel's back. China's fertility rate drops to 0.98, lowest in the world. It's not that young people don't want to have children. It's because the cost is so high that people don't dare to give birth. So Chinese young people are lying flat. The essence is a kind of self-protection to withdraw from unfair competition, gentle despair in Canada's high-cost society. Finally, we came to Canada, a country where life seems to be relaxed. But the pressure on young people is definitely no less than in Asia. The first big problem is housing prices. Canada's housing price to income ratio has long been among the top 5 in the OECD. Vancouver and Toronto are among the most expensive cities in the world. House price to income ratio 1.418. But the annual after-tax income of young Canadians, generally only 40,000 to 50,000 Canadian dollars. What's even scarier is the mortgage interest rate. 1% during the epidemic, rising to 6% in 2023. Monthly payment doubled directly. That is to say, it's not that young Canadians can't afford housing. Even the interest is enough to crush people. The cost of living is also rising rapidly. Data display. Food prices to rise 21% in 2021-2024. Rents increase 40 to 80%. It's common for young people to carry student loans. Average debt exceeds $20,000 aged. A more serious problem is mental health. Report shows nearly 40% of Canadians aged 1834 have symptoms of anxiety or depression. Surface chill. The actual pressure is huge. It's not that young Canadians don't want to work hard, but efforts can no longer cover the cost. The common conclusion of the 3 countries: it is not a matter of lying down, but a rational choice. 3 countries with completely different economic structures. Young people are heading towards the same result. Summarize 6 common points. First, there's a disconnect between housing prices and income. This is the biggest source of stress for young people around the world. Second, wage growth slows or stagnates. In China, in Japan, in Canada, young people's wages cannot keep up with costs. Third, the cost of marriage and childbirth is too high. Children have become a luxury. Fourth, psychological pressure generally increases. Anxiety is no longer a personal problem, it is a disease of the times. Fifth, the traditional path to success collapses. Work hard to get into college gives, find a job, gives, buy a house, gives, get married. This path will no longer be replicated in 2025. Sixth, the internet makes comparison global. What you see is always other people succeed. This will accelerate despair. So, lying flat does not mean not struggling. It is young people who realize that ineffective efforts must be stopped. Ending. Resonance left with the audience. Young people in 2025 are indeed very tired. It's not because you don't work hard enough, but the world has really become difficult. But the times are getting harder. The more we need to redefine life. There is no longer just one path to success. It's not about buying a house or getting a job, but find something that allows you. A way to live a stable, free, and healthy life. Lying down is not the end, but the beginning of rethinking. If you think this content is helpful to you, remember to like and follow. I will continue to output more in-depth and solid data analysis and city observation content. Follow me, and you will not miss the wonderful sharing in every issue. See you in the next issue.